And then afterward, it turns out that it's much easier to steal a penguin from a zoo than to put it back again. Oh, we're on. Hi. Hello. Welcome to the Jib. This bi-weekly podcast is about the many and varied schemes of the many and varied U.S. law enforcement and intelligence agencies, organizations, and committees, and how they are stupid and funny. Join us on our merry journey through space and time. Hi, my name is Barry. You might know me from my podcast where I discuss being constantly mistaken for a homosexual, straight talking, available wherever you get your podcasts.
Oh, you got me with that one, man. That's good. Shit. Hi, everybody. I'm Seamus. You may know me as the guy that punched a Nazi without knowing he was a Nazi. So that worked out for me in the end.
Oh, okay.
Yeah.
You mean, okay.
Yeah. It was a while ago, actually, but yeah.
You were angry at him
Good
for
stuff.
different reasons then.
Yeah, I didn't know he was a Nazi, so it just worked out.
Basically, the universe met you halfway on that.
I guess, right?
Hmm.
That I need to preface heavily that everything that we're talking about is allegedly.
Oh, okay.
Although,
we have nothing down on paper. Is it no sources?
There are sources, and just to get that kind of out of the way, but he is rather litigious, even with the folks that I'm going to name.
Man, if we get sued by somebody, that's going to be the best thing that ever happened to our podcast.
What the fuck is wrong with you?
Can you imagine if somebody sued us?
But the most of my sources are New York Times, Al Jazeera, AP Press.
Obviously, this person is still alive then.
Oh yeah,
and deeply litigious,
and very much with us.
Is this person a Scientologist?
I don't know. I doubt it.
Okay. So, well, that's not the crux of the episode then.
Yeah. So I'm gonna butcher his name out of the gate too. Kash Pramod Vinod Patel.
I know.
We call him Kash Patel, right?
Yeah.
Born February 25th, 1980. So he's got a birthday coming up. Yay! In the Garden City, I should say, of New York.
Jeez, I remember 1980. That's how old I am.
His parents were Indian immigrants. They moved to Canada, and then from Uganda in the 70s.
Uganda.
They're facing some ethnic repression, I should say. Subsequently moved to the U.S., and his father started working for the financial officers of an aviation firm.
Okay.
So family, he was pretty much raised up in a Hindu faith, so probably not Scientologist.
But maybe a Nazi.
Yeah. Okay, allegedly. Patel graduated.
Well, I can back that up.
Okay.
Hindu Nazis are the worst, man, in India.
Good point. Don't know if he was, though, so that's Barry saying that. That's not Barry.
Yeah,
does not
I'll take that, man. That's me. It's nothing to do with Seamus. Not just Seamus or the podcast. All views are my own.
After completing law school.
Are you really scared of this guy?
I'm just having fun. Patel moved to Florida and was admitted as a member of the Florida Bar.
Allegedly.
April 2006. He spent 9 years as a public defender, first in the Miami-Dade County Public Defender's Office, and later as a federal public defender. Okay. As a public defender, he represented clients charged with felonies, including international drug trafficking, murder, firearms violations, and a bulk of cash smuggling. In 2014, he was hired as a trial attorney in the U.S. Department of Justice National Security Division, where he simultaneously served as a legal liaison to the Joint Special Operations Command. In also 2017, he was appointed to senior counsel on the counterintelligence at the House Intelligence Committee.
Okay, so he's like a Gordon Liddy character.
Yes.
Okay.
Yes. Although I don't know much about Gordon Liddy as far as an attorney, how well he did, but
I know he worked in a lot of appeals processes while he was in jail.
Yes, he did. Patel in April of that year, Patel became a senior committee aide to House Intelligence Committee Chair David Nunes, which we all know about Mr. Nunes, right?
Yeah.
Patel played a prominent role in the Republican opposition to the investigation of one Donald J. Trump.
Okay.
The J is for genius, and Russia interference in the 2016 election. According to the New York Times, see, there's sources, I'm telling you, was the primary author of the 2016 Nunes memo, alleged that the FBI misconduct in the application for a warrant of the FI CO, right, or CO of the Federal Intelligence Surveillance Court, for electronic surveillance of former Trump campaign aide Carter Page. That
Okay.
claim was disputed by the committee's staff, direct by a spokesman for Nunez, and and by attributed sources interviewed by Indian Abroad. Patel did not offer a public comment on the matter. The New York Times opined the memo was widely dismissed as biased, containing cherry picked facts, but it galvanized President Trump's allies and made Patel a hero among them.
I remember that case. It was hot
Mhm.
shit at the time. It was serious business.
Yeah. So about this time, he would have had his uh, picture taken, and this is actually his photograph. That's what Kash
Okay.
Patel looks like.
Can you show me the one that hasn't been altered by AI?
That is him.
Okay. He seems surprised.
That's exactly what I thought. It's like somebody like farted or shot a gun or just he's literally looks like a deer in headlights, man.
Yeah. By the way,
Jesus.
you're now in charge of the blah. What?
Yeah. So, yeah, interesting guy. After Democrats took control of the House of Representatives in 2019, Patel worked for about a month as senior counsel at the House Reform and Oversight Committee. He was later hired in February 2016 as a staffer for Trump's National Security Council, working in the international organization and alliance directe. July 2019, he became senior director of counterintelligence, a new position created for him. That's convenient.
Senior
According to
Director
the
of Counterintelligence.
yeah,
Okay.
uh, according to the Wall Street Journal, Patel led a secret mission to Damascus in early 2020 to negotiate the release of Majid Kamalaz and journalist Austin
Who the
Tice.
hell is Kash Patel? Kash Patel.
um, both of whom were being held by Syrian government.
Okay.
Negotiations were unsuccessful.
Oh.
So,
Well,
yep,
that's unfortunate for the two
yep.
boys.
Some advisors, including NSC official Fiona Hill, alleged that soon after joining the NSC, Patel had assumed the role of an additional independent back channel for the president, while he was seen as underqualified for his portfolio, which covered the United Nations. Advisors such as Hill, who had uneasy relationship with Trump, raised flags when Trump referred to Patel as one of his top Ukraine policy specialists. Sorry, that was a
Oh.
terrible Trump. As such, he wished to discuss relative documents with him. Patel's actual assignment was counter-terrorist issues rather than Ukraine. He was thought to have operated independently of Rudy Giuliani's irregular informal channel. Impeachment inquiry witnesses, one of the many impeachments, right,
Yeah.
were asked what they knew about Patel. Hill told investigators that it seemed Patel was improperly becoming involved in Ukraine policy and was sending information to Mr. Trump. Gordon Sondland and George Kent testified they did not come across Patel in the course of their work. So maybe a little bit of, pushback on that, I guess.
He may be exaggerating his influence.
Maybe. October 2019 story, according to Politico, citing anonymous sources that reported had formerly worked with the White House, wrote that Patel had unique access to Trump. It provided out of the scope advising him on the United States Ukraine policy. Patel denied the claims and sued Politico for defamation, seeking
Wait.
$25
This,
million in damages.
well, he's the guy who said that he was an advisor to Ukraine, right?
No, no.
Who said he was an advisor to Ukraine before in the previous paragraph?
Hill. That
Oh,
Fiona
okay.
Hill said that. He's what he did. What he did say was that supposedly he said, according to the Times, that he wrote that memo that Nunez, back
Okay.
before this. So, and all this Ukraine stuff is whenever Trump's doing the quid pro quo with them and
Yeah.
trying to get it, intel on Biden
Yeah.
and little Biden and their crimes. So. The case was dismissed in April 2020 due to the court not having jurisdiction because Patel was not a resident of that state where he filed his suit. No money was awarded in the Patel case. This was one of several state residency issues that became problematic for Patel in his litigation future. The case was referred to the Circuit Court of Virginia, where it was ruled as a non-suit in March 15, 2022.
Okay.
So, December 3rd, 2019, a House Intelligence Committee report included phone records acquired via subpoena to AT&T and Verizon, including a 25-minute call between Patel and Giuliani. On
Okay.
March 10th of 2019, the call occurred after Giuliani and Patel attempted to call each other for several hours that day. The call between and shortly after Giuliani and Kurt Volker, which I believe is somebody who was involved in the Ukraine thing. I'm going to kind of go through this real quick. Basically, there's calls back and forth, and the timing between Giuliani's call with Patel seems slightly suspicious with the people that Giuliani, we now know, is calling, trying to get information to the Ukraine thing.
Okay.
And yeah. So, but anyways, Patel denied when asked by CBS News in December of 2019 being a part of Giuliani's Ukraine back channel, saying, quote, never a back channel to the president Trump on Ukraine matters at all, ever. He said that the call
More of a
between him
front channel.
he said the call between him and Giuliani was personal.
Okay, that's even
Yeah.
worse.
Yeah, like
What the fuck does he have business? Does he have personal business? Does he have with Rudy Giuliani?
Yeah, I wouldn't admit to that shit.
Fucking
like,
hell, I'd
fuck
take a
it, no.
corruption charge before.
Exactly. Yeah.
No, definitely. I was definitely involved in corruption, okay? It's very important that we get that on the record and charge me with it.
Yeah. Sorry, did you say you're a friend of Rudy Giuliani's?
Yeah, for personal reasons? Well, like setting up a date or something? What?
February 2020, Patel moved to the office of the Director of National Intelligence,
Okay.
becoming a principal deputy to acting director Richard Grenell. Later that a month, Patel was part of Trump's entourage during the state visit to the United States Republic of India, and what is noted in the press reports as one of two Americans of Indian descent to accompany the president. I mean, that's kind of common, right? They do that kind of
Yeah.
thing. I don't think that's anything different than any other president would do. I mean, not that I'm defending
Allegedly.
fucking Trump. But anywho, October 2020, Patel provided incorrect information about permission from Nigeria for a U.S. hostage rescue. U.S. hostage rescue operations, despite Patel claiming U.S. had clearance for operation, the U.S. was not able to confirm clearance. According to the memoir, A Sacred Oath, memoirs of Secretary of Defense during extraordinary times by Defense Secretary Mark T. Esper, Patel, quote,
Okay.
made the approval story up. In the end, SEAL Team 6 was still able to rescue Philip Walton, who was being held hostage.
In Nigeria?
So, yes.
Why would you make up something like that? You could just phone him up and ask him.
Just because he wanted to, I believe, he wanted to try to make it about him and his efforts. You know,
Oh, okay.
gotta push that resume up a little bit, man. You know,
Allegedly.
November 2020, Trump named Patel chief of staff to acting Secretary of Defense Christopher Miller, a move that followed Trump's firing of Secretary of Defense Mark Esper, the guy we just quoted the book from.
Yeah.
So, yes.
Yes.
Oh, I thought you were going to say something. Sorry.
No, occasionally I will say yes just to show that I'm listening.
Okay. Patel reportedly argued that Esper was disloyal to Trump by refusing to deploy military troops to Washington to quell the George Floyd protests. Yeah.
Could have done with some troops in the streets on the 6th of January.
Patel remained at the Pentagon for 3 months. Foreign Policy Magazine, you know, who doesn't subscribe to Foreign Policy Magazine, connected the move to Trump's
That's
refusal
the magazine
to accept.
that published Samuel Huntington's article on the Clash of Civilizations.
Is it really?
Oh, no, that's Foreign Affairs. Never mind. Sorry.
Okay.
Carry on.
Trump's, quote, refusal to accept the election results. Based on the interview with defense experts, Alex Ward of Fox suggests that Patel's appointment was, quote, not sinister and would not change much and may have severed an effort to accelerate the withdrawal of troops from Afghanistan.
Okay.
According to an unnamed source quoted by Vanity Fair, Miller was a frontman during this time as acting Secretary of Defense, while Patel and Cohen Watnick were calling the shots at the defense.
Christopher Miller?
No, Christopher Miller, not Stephen Miller. Yeah.
Okay.
I know those two get confused. I don't think Christopher Miller is a Nazi. I am pretty goddamn sure Stephen Miller is a goddamn Nazi. So,
Oh yeah.
yeah. Another source
So
told,
is the claim that Christopher Miller wasn't running the Defense Department,
yes,
but,
that's what they're
but
saying.
Patel was?
Yeah, that's what.
That's a wild claim.
Yeah, that's what Vanity Fair is suggesting. So
Yeah, but does that make sense
yeah.
to you?
I don't know. I don't know much about Christopher Miller, honestly.
Okay.
So, yeah, I mean, I don't know. It seems weird. For what we know about Patel, there's no doubt that he was definitely, trying to be as influential as
Yeah,
he
I've no
could
doubt
be.
about that.
You know what I mean? And trying to push as many buttons.
But that's not the claim. The claim is that he was
Yeah.
running the Department of Defense with some other guy underneath Christopher Miller.
Yeah.
Which is that's a wild claim.
Yeah, it is.
Good luck with that in court.
Yeah. Another source told the magazine that Patel was the most influential person in the U.S. government on matters of national security.
Okay, I don't believe that for a second.
Yeah.
I believe that one of their sources is Patel. That's on that.
Yeah.
So.
Yeah. And we do know that, he is probably, and we'll go to show what links of a sycophant he is for Trump. So, after the November 2020 election, Patel reportedly blocked some of the Department of Defense officials from helping the Biden administration's transition. According to NBC, as chief of staff, Patel was designed to lead the Department of Defense coordination with Joe Biden's presidential transition. Also supported department initiative to separate the National Security Agency from the U.S. Cyber Command. Trump proposed Patel as a potential leader for either the FBI or CIA in early 2021 following the 2020 United States presidential election. Trump had considered installing Patel as either CIA director or acting director, which would have had required firing the existing director, Gina Haspel. This proposal faced significant resistance, including the Attorney General William Barr, who wrote in his memoir that Patel, who would become the FBI director, only, quote, over my dead body.
Mm.
In the last weeks of office, Trump planned to appoint Patel as CIA director, replacing Vaughn Bishop, but interventions from Vice President Mike Pence and White House counsel Pat Cipollone stopped that.
Could you imagine thinking that the FBI and the CIA require the same skill set? That the same guy could run this? Someone should go to Trump and say, name 5 differences between the CIA and the FBI. Go.
Yeah, I don't think he sees that. I think all he sees is, this guy's loyal to me. He's going to do whatever I tell him, and I'm going to find a position of power to put him into. That's all it is.
The FBI is basically a federal justice department, basically.
Right.
And the CIA is foreign intelligence.
Yes.
They're not even close to each other. Like, we put them in the same podcast here because we think it's funny, not because,
well, and sometimes
American security agencies.
Right, but and sometimes their interests and actions do overlap, and
but they shouldn't.
Yeah.
I know the CIA gets up to stuff domestically, but they shouldn't. That's FBI business.
Yeah.
Anyway, the same guy.
Somebody should tell them that.
I'll write them a letter. Don't worry, dear sir.
Thank you.
Well, there's been an ice cream van parked outside my door for the last 3 weeks.
Excuse me.
Oh, no, they're going now. They're going now. It's okay. They're going now.
Oh, okay, good. CNN reported in 2025 or January 2025. That's this year. That Patel had
2 weeks ago.
Yeah, had for years clashed with the FBI and CIA, notably with regards to his handling of national security secrets.
Well, then don't put him in charge.
Right, leading to the CIA to ask the first Trump Justice Department to open a criminal investigation into his activities. The CIA alleged Patel had circulated classified information about Russia efforts to interfere with 2016 presidential election to the government officials not authorized to see it in an effort to discredit the FBI's investigation of Russian interference.
Okay.
Patel denied mishandling classified documents, and the DOJ referral did not lead to persecution of Patel.
Well, I guess if it's what you intended and you felt it was in the service of national interests, shredding those documents would not be mishandling, would it? It would just be handling.
Yeah, I guess that's the way to look at it, right? Patel's FBI security clearance file remained flagged to indicate that the CIA referral had been made.
It's remained flagged.
Yeah.
Fuck that guy, man.
Yeah. I wonder if that's going to change now. Anyway, Patel Patel was one of 43 individuals whose phone records were secretly obtained in sweeping leaks investigations during the first Trump presidency.
Okay.
Patel suggested the FBI should scale back its national security intelligence to focus solely on criminal investigations.
Okay.
Well,
So who's
I
going to
mean,
do domestic intelligence then?
yeah, I mean, you might say that's a fair statement, but
Who's going to do domestic intelligence?
yeah, well,
Just the
somebody.
Department of Defense, is it?
We'll just create a new department, right?
Okay, put him in
Uh,
charge of it. The Director of
yeah,
National Intelligence.
exactly. Uh, Patel was widely been described by news organizations as a Trump loyalist.
Yeah.
Since 2020, Patel has invoked in his association with Trump into enterprises being prominent under the logo. Well, maybe this better. I'll show you the logo here in a second.
Yes, please.
In April 2022, Patel became a member of the board of the Trump Media and Technology Group, owner
Oh,
of
God.
Truth Social media platform. Patel promoted pro-Trump conspiracy theories and appeared on podcasts hosted by right-wing personalities such as Stu Peters and co-host show on the Epoch Times, which is an incredibly far-right bullshit network.
Okay.
A far-right Falun Gong affiliated media organization. Yeah, there you go.
Falun
Patel
Gong?
also, yeah.
Okay.
Patel also sold a brand of merchandise such as supplements that he said detoxify the body of the negative effects of the
What is with
COVID-19
these
vaccines.
wankers and their fucking supplements?
Yeah. So he also wrote a children's book.
Oh, nice.
So tell you what.
Yeah.
Instead of me telling you about this, why don't I let Mr. Kash Patel tell you about it?
Oh, cool.
We are living in unparalleled times of corruption in both our media and government. It is our job to expose the truth, no matter what the cost. My name is Kash Patel, and I have written the first ever children's Russiagate book. It's called The Plot Against the King. It is a fantastical telling by me, the Russiagate chief investigator under then Chairman Nunes, of how we triumphed to put truth over evil and report the facts to the American public. Please go to the link below and order your copy today.
Oh, I get it. He's a fuckwit. I get it.
Do you want to hear more about this book, Barry?
Yes, please.
Okay, so this is from an article of Slate, although they're going to quote heavily from the New York Times, so whatever. The New York Times' David Farentold, that's an interesting name, examined Patel's apparent use of his nonprofit Kash Foundation for self-promotion in the years between the two Trump administrations. Among the many things the foundation's promoted, including the Kash brand T-shirts, which we'll look at here in a minute, it scarfs a book for adults titled Government Gangsters. And he also wrote a child story, a child's book in which a besieged King Donald is helped by a wizard named Kash.
He didn't even change the...
Yeah.
Oh, simpleton.
There are 3 of these books, by the way. They are actually...
series.
Yep. The Plot Against the King books, marketed as suitable for children's 3 and up. They are published by Brave Books, which is established in 2021, boasts celebrity authors like Kirk Cameron, Kevin Sorbo, and Bethany Hamilton, and described itself as a Christian publishing company that makes books for kids that reinforce biblical-based foundational values. Like you needed to fucking tell us with Kirk Cameron and...
What's he talking about the Bible for if he's a Hindu?
Yeah, not anymore. He's a Christian nationalist, right?
I typed it into Amazon and it came up, and you can get it for 20 English pounds.
Oh, wait. We're going to talk more about the price of that book.
Oh, sorry.
You really talk? No, you're fine. That's just a standard edition. We'll talk about the other editions.
Oh, fuck me. Okay.
2 of the Patel books are illustrated by James Scroll and one by Laura Vincent.
Scroll. What a great name for an artist.
Right? All in colorful, derivative fantasy style. One book fictionalizes Russiagate and the Steele dossier. The second does the same in 2020 election, and the third covers the Department of Justice lawsuits against Donald Trump.
Yeah, nothing entertains children like that kind of bureaucratic fucking legal stuff. Yeah, they love them a bit of Steele dossier action, don't they?
And each, the Wizard Kash all-knowing, all-discerning bearing, and Cerberus, the distinguished discoverer, does battle against the enemies of the merchant Donald, who becomes King Donald after the people of the kingdom vote for him on chosen day.
You don't vote
This
for
book,
kings.
yeah, this book read like someone fed storylines from Donald Trump era into AI trained on MAGA posts and social media and gave it its command. Tell this as a medieval story in a slightly funny way. I mean,
Mm.
kind of fucking does, right?
Mm.
Democrat Adam Schiff plays a part in the book. Book 1 and 3, first as the Shifty Knight, and then as the Shifty Jester, and then just as Shifty. The media are heralds, excuse me, who hate the beloved King Donald and accept any lie about that are told by Shifty. Hillary Clinton is Hillary Quinton. Biden is Baron von Biden.
No, stop. End the pain. End it.
Kamala Harris. You wait. You want to take a guess about Kamala Harris?
Um, should be a bad name.
Comma la.
No.
Comma spelled like the word comma.
Come on, la la la.
Yeah. Remember whenever they're pointing out that you're purposely mispronouncing that name and it's not a good thing?
Yeah.
Yeah. He really swung big on the fences on that one.
Mm.
Mark Zuckerberg, who also gets a cameo to the Trump world idea, participating in the 2020 election fraud as mischievous Metamark. The DOJ is a dragon of jalapenos who gets small as a dog before eating hot jalapeno or hot peppers, then bigger when he has fed some until he breathes fire. Yep. If I were a child reading these, I were paying attention, I would have questions like, why are people voting for a king? Why does Biden's chosen day win result in a barony rather than a kingship like Donald got? Why is a shifty knight friends with heralds? Why name Kamala instead of Kamila? I mean, that's
That would have been
much
better.
Yeah, that's right,
Yeah.
right? I've been more on brand. Which makes so much more sense and funnier, right? Okay, maybe a child wouldn't think of that last one, but that seems like a real missed opportunity to me.
Yeah, fair.
Aren't heralds usually working for the king and not just acting as freelance trumpeters for random news? Some of these murky bits could have been used one more pass for a punch up, but some of them just get a inevitable result of comical transparent agenda here. Without MAGA mindset, for example, you can't explain why heralds would hate King Donald so much that they would lie about him, or why that there are no people of the land of the free who are genuine objections to Donald kingship. Actually, MAGA herald hardliners' ideas about Trump's natural, never-ending popularity led themselves well to children's stories in some non-specific olden times location. One page in the second book of the series, and about the 2020 election, shows people living up in a party to place ballots in boxes, like people used to do in the 19th century United States. The line for the blue box has only Hillary Clinton, Kamala, and Shifty and a few others in it, while the line in the red box stretches off into the distance. Of course, Biden's win was a fraud. You can see it with your own eyes.
Yeah.
So, yeah, I don't know.
He's a Trump loyalist.
Yeah, very much so. But it definitely has that happily ever after feel, right?
Yeah.
Sorry. I should have done it at the beginning of it.
Yes. Search results for Kash.
Okay, so this is Based Apparel, which has a lot of like right wing stuff. But that's his logo.
Mm.
The
It's not a bad logo.
Fight for cash.
But that $K thing, that's a good idea for a logo.
It's not bad. I think this one, where we're talking about the litigation, I mean,
Okay.
that's kind of like the Punisher logo, bro. I mean,
It is a bit.
why isn't Marvel coming after your ass?
I think they're going to find it difficult to copyright the idea of a skull.
Well, if
It
they're
doesn't look Punisher-y, though.
if somebody has a will, there's a way. It's definitely
I don't know. If I met Kash Patel down a dark alley, I think I could take him.
Allegedly.
Allegedly, yeah. But the Punisher, not so much. I would die very quickly. Oh, there he is.
Yeah, this is his website. Looking like a badass walking off the airplane, right? So you see all of his appearances, and then here's
The
him with
Israelis
his-
can't take on Iran alone.
Yeah, but
Donate.
you got to donate. You got to donate, man. You got to help.
What's
out.
that open? The second tier.
What the donate?
Yeah.
Let's see. Kash Patel Foundation assists American First Patriots and the veterans support legal efforts to hold the mainstream media accountable.
501c3 status from the IRS. Our expanded charitable endeavors include legal funds, education, veteran law enforcement, financial support. Your generous tax-deductible gift makes it possible for the Kash Foundation and its nationwide network of you see, the veterans, like Army veterans, are getting fucked around, but I wouldn't I wouldn't depend on this guy to sort it out.
No, because he's going to get kind of a little bit of blowback for who might be getting some of this money, or
Yeah. Well, he also seems to be suffering from a traditional right-wing problem, whereby he's saying, "I'm fighting against government corruption. Help me fight the government corruption," while he is in the government. If you're running the place, you can't pretend like you're in opposition.
It's odd. They never
Just
seem to
pick
catch
one.
that. Yeah. So
Goddamn federal government! You're the president. Nah, fuck this federal government, man. It's terrible. If only somebody would do something.
yeah, as we mentioned before, in 2023, he published a book called "Government Gangsters."
Yeah.
Now it's a partial memoir that criticizes the deep state. In his book, Patel wrote a list of 60 people who he believes were members of the deep state.
No.
Those folks include Joe Biden, Kamala Harris. He spelled it right this time.
Look,
Hillary
how could Joe
Clinton.
Biden and Kamala Harris possibly be the deep state if they're the state?
Right.
They're the executive branch of it. Like, it doesn't make any sense.
Yeah.
Oh,
Merrick Garland, Bill Barr,
all right.
Robert Mueller, James Comey, Mark
Fair
Epster, Robert Hur, and among others.
I mean, the rest of them.
Some would call this a enemies list.
A hit list.
Yeah, I don't know. Allegedly, some people would say. June 19th, 2022, Trump sent a letter to the National Archives naming Patel and John Solomon as representatives for access to the presidential records of my administration. In 2022, he created the Fight for Cash, the tax-exempt thing we just talked about, to raise donations for, quote, helping other people in need. Though more specifically, bring American First Patriots together, helping fight the deep state, funding whistleblower campaigns, which Democrats, Republican-controlled House Judiciary Weaponized Subcommittee said included former FBI employees that FBI claimed endorsed, quote, an alarming series of conspiracy theories related to the January 6th Capitol attack, the validity of the 2020 elections. During December 2023 appearance on a Steve Bannon's War Room, I mean, come on, what a great guy, right? Everybody loves Steve Bannon. Patel.
We've all done Steve. We've all done the Bannon show.
Yeah, oh yeah. Patel concurred with Bannon's assertion that Donald Trump is dead serious about seeking revenge against his political enemies and should do so if elected in 2024. Patel said, quote, "We will go out and find the conspirators, not just in government, but in the media. We're going to come after the people in media who lied about American citizens, who helped Joe Biden rig presidential elections. We're going to come after you. Whether it's criminal or civilly, we'll figure that out. But yeah, we're putting you all on notice. And Steve, this is why they hate us. This is why we're tyrannical. This is what," that's really interesting. This is why we're dictators, because we're actually going to use the Constitution to persecute them for crimes they said that they've always been guilty of, but never have. End quote.
Yeah.
We're going to be tyrannical. We're going to be dictators as we use the Constitution.
Is there anybody in the past who's done that, who's used the Constitution to do dictator stuff?
No, I don't know.
No. Right.
Chancellor something or other. Patel's remarks came during. What's that?
Du musst weitergehen.
Yeah. The struggle is real. Patel's remarks came during concerning reports in the New York Times about a series of plans by Mr. Trump and his allies that would upend core elements of American governance, democracy, foreign policies, and the rule of law if he were to gain the White House. Axios reported days later that Patel was being considered for top national security position in the second Trump administration. December 2024, the New York Times reported that Patel made several misleading claims about his role in the 2012 Benghazi attack investigation while at the
Oh,
Department of
Jesus.
Justice. According to the current and former law enforcement officials interviewed by the Times, Patel's overstated his importance in the investigation and distorted the department's broader efforts. While Patel claimed he was leading the prosecution efforts at Main Justice. Officials said that he held a junior position in the counterintelligence section supporting the investigation, which was run by prosecutors at the U.S. Attorney's Office in Washington, D.C.
That makes more sense.
The FBI. The Times also reported that Patel's claims about the prosecution of Ahmed Abu Kawala were inaccurate, while Patel suggested that he would be released from prison before 2028 election. He was actually sentenced to 28 years in prison in September 24 after his appeals from his original 22 sentence was too low. So numbers are a thing. I don't know. Yeah. The National Archives Record Administration found in 2021 that Trump had taken presidential documents with him to his home in Florida after leaving office. After Trump returned some documents, the NRA found others were still missing, including some that were highly classified. They referred the matter to the FBI, and after a request and subpoena to return said documents when unheralded, the FBI entered the Trump home under a search warrant to retrieve these items. Patel publicly asserted that Trump had declassified a broad set of sensitive documents before leaving the White House. In October 2022, Patel was summoned to testify before the federal grand jury in an investigation upon this matter, but he declined to answer questions and invoked his Fifth Amendment right. Patel was represented in the matter by lawyer Stanley Woodward. The Department of Justice unsuccessfully persuaded the federal judge to compel Patel to testify. Justice Department prosecutors granted him limited immunity from prosecution, after which Patel testified in November 4, 2022. The other problem with that is whenever the people that are saying this is a bad idea, that are in charge at the time, happen to leave their classified information in their garage by their Corvette. Whenever I was just going out for ice cream, man, that's all I was doing.
Yeah.
Come on, Jack, wasn't that bad? Yeah, it's kind of.
It also implies that Patel would have incriminated himself otherwise.
Maybe, yeah. But Democrats, clean up your own shit. I mean, by all means, go after the motherfucker, but at least make sure your shit's on lockdown. I mean, Jesus Christ, they're so fucking stupid. Kash is president and board member of the Kash Foundation, which we kind of talked broadly about just a few minutes ago. The website. So when the Fight for Kash website was first registered in September 2021, there's the restraints were that Kash Patel Legal Offense Trust and Believe Media, of which the CEO, founder, and board member of the Kash Foundation. November 2024, he was officially nominated by Trump as the director of the FBI to succeed Christopher Wray.
Okay.
Christopher Wray, after going on a big, diatribe about how bad Trump would be for the American people and putting somebody like Patel, Patel in charge, instead of being forced out or fight, he resigned like a big giant pussy. Anyways, if confirmed, Patel would be the FBI's 9th director and first Indian America leader. Hey, DI. As well as the youngest director. Trump cited Patel's role in, quote, uncovering the Russia hoax and his advocacy for truth, accountability, and the Constitution. In announcing the nomination following his nomination, Patel was targeted by Iran hackers who accessed some of his communications. When I'm pro Iran all of a sudden. 2 days before Patel's Senate confirmation hearing, 23 former Republicans officials released a letter stating that his confirmation would be, quote, a grievous mistake that would endanger the FBI's integrity and compromise its critical mission because he is motivated by revenge and has repeatedly vowed to go after individuals on the perceived enemies list. This is a vision of the FBI, an authoritarian weapon for pursuing his and Trump's grievances. End quote.
That vision of the FBI died in the mid-1970s.
Thank you. Exactly. The signatories included many Justice Department officials from 4 Republican administrations dating back to the Nixon administration. Ty Cobb, not the baseball player, a former Trump White House attorney. I'm sure he's just as racist now. Who signed the letter said Patel is not qualified remotely by character or experience. Maybe he's not. I don't know. To be FBI director, and he is somebody who is real danger for democracy and certainly a dagger in the heart of the FBI. Now, we here at the Jib are not a fan of the FBI.
No, we're not.
So when I read some of that stuff, it's like, man, I feel suddenly conflicted.
Well, we're not in favor of the FBI, but not because we want it to fail, because we want it to succeed.
Yes, exactly.
So we don't want an idiot running the thing. We want it to be done properly. We're critical of our activities, not because we want to end the FBI.
Yeah.
You know?
Well, anyways.
Only because of that. We prefer if there was an FBI that did its job.
One of the podcasts Patel appeared most regularly on was Steve Peters' show.
Yay.
Host Peters, an anti-Semitic anti-vaxxer.
What?
Yeah, shocker. When asked by Senate Dick Durham during the hearing on Thursday for his confirmation hearing, if he was aware of Steve Peters, Patel said, quote, not off the top of my head.
The guy he was on the show.
Yep.
Okay.
Durbin reminded Patel, you made 8 separate appearances on his podcast.
Yeah.
Addressing the conversation later on his show, Peters said, quote, clearly Kash Patel is lying. He absolutely knows who I am.
Yeah.
He strongly denied including an enemies list in the end of his book. We already talked about. Who are described as corrupt actors in the First Order. Patel was asked about his remarks he had made previously about prosecuting Justice Department officials on racketeering charges, quote, for criminal organization, the United States government to break the law to rig the presidential election. He declined to acknowledge making the remarks and asserted that it was not provided in full context. He similarly declined to acknowledge his remarks about going on the government and media figures, the previously read quote from Steve Bannon podcast.
Yeah.
He sought to distance himself from a meme that he shared on social media with him taking a chainsaw at the political enemies. And I'm not going to share it because it's not like a good meme at all, but the heads of Fauci and Schumer are obviously being chucked about. Said he didn't create the meme, and the alleged Democrats on the committee were false accusations and grotesque mischaracterizations of him. Yeah. So Dick Durbin asked Patel about his music promotion of the song "Injustice for All," a choir music from some of the incarcerated January 6 writers, also known as the J6 Choir, which was recorded that Patel had co-produced.
Is that a joke?
No, it's real.
Oh, Jesus.
He co-produced, promoted, and sold.
Is that not a Metallica song?
I don't know if it's that or if it's like one of the hymns.
Oh, okay.
I didn't listen to it. I didn't
Good.
put myself
Well
through
done.
the pain. Maybe we could find it. I'm sure.
No.
Patel has described the prisoners as political prisoners. Patel had also produced a podcast with he denied having anything to do with that recording, by the way. Although there's many interviews of him just flat out saying that, oh yeah, we got these people together and we did all this, man. It was great. Yeah. Anyways, allegedly. Patel also produced a podcast with one episode called, quote, what was the FBI doing planning January 6th for a year? When Durbin asked Patel why did Patel state that the FBI planned January 6th, Patel replied that he did not make such a statement.
No, I didn't.
Yeah. Patel has promoted multiple conspiracy theories, as we've kind of hinted.
Yeah.
It has been described as a conspiracy theorist, allegedly. The ones that he's promoted include deep state conspiracy theories, false claims about the 2020 election fraud, QAnon, COVID-19 vaccines, false claims about the FBI's instigation in the January 6th attacks, claiming that they planned it a year in advance, as we just talked about. He also
Yeah.
claimed that the Democrats knew about the attack in advance. I mean, I think that's kind of fair because I knew about the attack in advance and I didn't know anything about it because I just saw shit on social media that was saying shit was going to go down. I mean, whatever. Patel promoted conspiracy theory that Trump supporter and oath keeper Ray Epps was a paid undercover FBI agent who provoked rioters to enter the Capitol. I mean, we do know that he turned snitch. I don't believe he actually was an agent, though. Patel has actively promoted the QAnon conspiracy theory on Truth Social. Patel promoted the account with the handle @Q, which distributed messages related to the conspiracy movement. According to Media Matters, Patel shared an image featuring a flaming Q on it.
I saw that episode of Star Trek.
Who saw that coming? And went on multiple QAnon shows in order to urge members to join True Social. Quote, why try to incorporate into an overall messaging scheme to capture audiences because whoever that person is has certainly captured the widespread breadth of the MAGA and American First movement. He said said on June 2022 episode of the Patriot News, quote, and so what I try to do what I try to do with anything Q or otherwise is just you can't ignore the group of people that has just such strong dominant following. Patel also said that the figurehead of the QAnon movement, quote, should get credit for all the things that he has accomplished. Yeah, one of the key parts of the effort was creation of a @Q account on the True Social Network done by the site's own developers. Quote, having a beer with @Q right now, Patel wrote on True Social February 2022. Just days after the platform went live, the @Q account responded the following day saying that they were once again with Patel, asking followers, well, quote, all right, Anons, where are we kicking it at tonight? So relatable. The post included the hashtag Flannel Fridays, which quickly took. I'll never wear flannel again. Which quickly took hold with the QAnon community after Patel promoted it, inspiring new memes and followers who dressed up in flannel. Quote, it's become this mass thing online. He told
Do you
Tim
have a photo
Pool.
of him wearing flannel?
No, I don't. I'm sure there's one out there. Patel told Tim Pool, Tim Pool.
Oh, fuck that guy.
Tim Pool. In 2022, he told pro-Trump influencer Mary Grace, quote, I agree with a lot of what the movement says. In recent years, Patel has even published his own enemies list. Well, we were talking about that. And that's also related to Q, I guess. He also praised the Q movement for their research skills. Quote, I've seen on Truth Social how good these researchers are, and I kind of wish I had had some of them when I was doing Russiagate. Patel said in another podcast with the Conspiracy Channel, quote, I talk with the president all the time, and we are just blown away by the amount of acumen some of these people have. Yeah. Patel is not limited his promotion. Patel is not limited his promotion and endorsement of Q to True Social. Since January 2020, he has appeared on, quote, at least 53 episodes and 13 podcasts that have overly promoted the QAnon movement or shared Q-related conspiracy theories, according to the analysis conducted by Wired by research at the Advocacy of Democracy, a nonprofit organization to conduct public interest research. Wired's also
And this guy's in
another
charge
source of
now.
this. Sorry? He might be.
He's in charge now.
He might be.
He got confirmed, didn't he?
Nope, they haven't voted yet. As of
Oh.
this recording, which we're recording
Okay.
this on February 3rd. So
This isn't the 3rd of February. Oh, it is. Never mind. Sorry.
Yep. Patel's rapid rise in the U.S. government and potential ascension to the role of FBI director was viewed among Q adherents as the movement they had all been waiting for, when the deep state would finally be unmasked, enemies rounded up, arrested, and publicly executions carried
Yeah.
out. Rather than Patel's disavowalment of Q as a betrayal, a review of posts on platforms like True Social, Telegram, Grab, 4chan, TikTok, and X, aka Twitter, show people on QAnon messaging boards defending his comments and praising his performance. Quote, all caps, "There is no QAnon, so Kash told the truth," one QAnon influencer posted on Telegram. Reference to the false claims that the term QAnon is simply a construction of the mainstream media. Quote, he basically said that there are no conspiracies, but rather truth. Love it, a follower responded. He has appeared on multiple far-right podcasts, spewing all these. He's been a regular guest on Tim Pool, Benny Johnson, Steve Bannon, a bunch of the really cool cats, right? So remember, we're going to talked about that the children's book, the King Donald book. So if you want a signed copy, Kash Patel's own
Yes,
little
please.
signed. He'll sign it with the QAnon motto, quote, WWG1WGA, which means where we go one, we go all, which is a Q drop. He also
stolen
promoted
from a badly translated version of D'Artagnan book. What's that called? The Musketeers.
Yes, Three Musketeers, right?
Yeah.
He also promoted this on as a hashtag. Hashtag on True Social. Also, on True Social, Patel has promoted the use of pills and other things to reverse the effects of the COVID-19 vaccines. He also sold them, so he's just checking all the boxes, man. Patel expanded on his we already talked about the book with the deep state thing, right? January 21, 25. The Patel case versus CNN was decided in the Court of Appeals in Virginia. Patel claimed that CNN had slandered Patel on his various news stories, with one news story claiming that Patel was a back channel to President Trump to the Ukraine, which actually I believe it was New York Times that had that, so I don't know why I was going after CNN, but whatever. So CNN was granted the motion requiring a plaintiff to provide a document pertaining to the plaintiff's claim. In the motion, some documents presented were Nunez's memo in the Trump-Ukraine impeachment inquiry. CNN knew Patel denied the claim, and the Ukraine report did in fact state that various allegations of Patel had contested. The court ruled that, quote, Patel's bare conclusory allegations that CNN acted with malice was without factual support and inefficient to withstand the mirror. So basically that got squashed.
Yeah.
But you may ask, dear Barry, did Patel address the Q questions at all? He did.
Did Patel address the Q questions at all?
Yeah, he did. Last week in his confirmation hearing, Patel rebutted Democrat allegations that he was a conspiracy theorist by saying that he believes QAnon baseless, despite his past praise for the movement that promotes false notions that top Democrats are at the helm of an international pedophile cabal. Which we all know that they are, but hey, whatever.
Yeah.
So, anyways, his rebut was, quote, I have publicly included in interviews provided to this committee rejected outright QAnon baseless conspiracy theories. They must be addressed head on with truth, and I continue to do that. Kash Patel! Yay!
Hey.
That's what we know so far. He might be.
Oh, we can't have him in charge of I wouldn't put him in charge of a pigeon. Never mind the FBI.
Right? Jesus Christ. he is such. I try to minimize this as much as I could because there's so much. Like if you just do, what does Kash Patel think of Donald Trump? Oh my God, it's like just fucking blow him already, dude. Just fucking blow him
Yeah.
already. You know, he
None
is.
of these guys
He
seem to have
might be
any
the worst.
dignity.
Just none, zero, right?
They just project weakness and
Yeah,
servility.
yeah. It's pretty fucking gross.
Yeah.
But yeah, he might be the next head of the FBI.
They
So
can, sure, they have the same access to information that you have. They're hardly going to confirm him.
dude, they confirmed Marco Rubio. Barry fucking
Marco
Sanders.
Rubio is. I'm not agreeing with anything he says,
Yeah.
but he is an experienced politician.
Sure, but you can't sit there and say that he is an enemy of the state. That somebody has made inflammatory statements about killing all the Gazans and his anti-trans rhetoric and all those things, and then you have Bernie Sanders fucking voting for him to be confirmed. That is not an opposition party. That is not opposition. That is not resistance.
Yeah.
They're going to appoint all these motherfuckers and then try to.
Yeah, but Marco Rubio's not in the same class as Kash.
I agree, but I would also say you can't do that.
No,
you have to vote against these
Marco
motherfuckers.
Rubio, no.
You have to vote against all of these motherfuckers.
So fuck trans people and people in Gaza.
Yeah, that's what they're saying whenever they voted for somebody like that. So
bloody Palestinians. I can't tell you how many times I've been fucked over in my town in Ireland by Palestinians and trans people.
Yeah,
they just won't leave me the fuck alone.
They're the worst, man, right?
Yeah. I'm glad somebody's dealing with the great Palestinian threat.
Yeah.
And the great trans threat.
Yeah.
At last, that yoke has been lifted from my shoulders. What happens now? What's new? Sorry, it's my. What's new is a thing we do every show. If you're new to us, hey, how are you doing? And just many apologies for what we're going to do now. We put CIA and FBI into Google. We hit the news tab and see what mad news shit is happening with the CIA and the FBI. And I guess, do you want to go first with FBI or will I go first?
Yeah, I'm going to be short on mine. Most of mine is. So, although he hasn't been appointed, the Justice Department under Trump now is forcing people out of the FBI. They're trying
with the early retirements or some other way?
They're trying to force out early retirements. Now, there was a story about the FBI officers that actually were involved in like the investigations on Trump being forced out.
Okay.
I've had a hard time confirming that actually was a thing. But the acting director, Brian Driscoll, is refusing to step down, and he's trying to keep everybody else to refuse because, you can't just terminate them without cause. So, yeah. That's pretty much the biggest thing about.
Well, Richard Nixon ran through the entire Justice Department until he found somebody who wouldn't.
Yeah.
The Saturday Night Massacre, they called it. Yeah.
Yeah. And just to discuss, I almost put this in the script, but I mean, we kind of already touched on this with Patel, although he kind of didn't want to answer when asked. That he said that he would close down the FBI headquarters and turn it into a museum. He pretty much denied
it. We need a federal law enforcement agency. What do you think is going to do all the FBI stuff?
I don't know. In one breath, he says
the FBI has not just been fucking with people. They also do proper police work. Whatever we say about them, they do in fact do lots of proper police work as well as the shit they get up to.
Yeah, he says that they need to stick to doing crime things, but then on the other breath, like he told Bannon, they need to go out after the enemies of the state.
Yeah.
So just talking out both ends of his ass. So whatever. So I'm just going to end on that because I mean that's really all the news that's going on in the FBI. So
okay.
Am I understanding? We're gonna
do it.
We're gonna do it one more time.
Yeah.
Where the hell is William Burns? William Burns, William Burns. Where the hell is William Burns? William Burns this week.
He's at home with his family.
Where the hell is William Burns? William Burns, William Burns. Where the hell is William Burns? William Burns this week.
That is the last where the hell is William Burns because he is no longer in charge of the CIA due to the transition. He's at home with his family, having spent many years keeping America safe from foreign threats. The guy who's taken over is a guy called John Ratcliffe. He is Trump's CIA director. And there is a wonderful article about it on NPR, the usually reliable NPR.
Sorry. I knew I was going to cry.
It's Senate confirms John Ratcliffe as Trump's CIA director. No, we just get our shit together. And until we find out what John Ratcliffe's... I know. Until we find out John Ratcliffe's travel itinerary, we won't be doing Where is John Ratcliffe? And also because it doesn't fit the scansion. So it's okay, Seamus. I
I
understand.
didn't want that bit to end!
I know.
Damn
I
it!
know.
Damn it!
I know. It was a good bit. It was a good bit. It was a good bit. And we just need to...
You hear bad things about Trump.
Yeah.
He's going to do something bad.
Yeah.
It didn't. Damn it!
I think we can put the pieces of our lives back together and struggle on.
Okay.
Okay? It's all right. This is a setback. I'm not going to lie. It is a giant setback.
I signed up for Talkspace to sort this out, so I'm going to work on it.
Better help. We're going to get some help together. I think we're going to have joint therapy sessions, and we'll see. It's bad. It's bad. Not going to lie. It's bad. This is the last William Burns bit.
Dave wasn't cutting it. We had to let him go, so...
Yeah, well, that's because I'm not going to get into it. But basically, the funds were coming out of Seamus's account, so he was being directed to, Anyway.
Yeah, we're not going to go there. We don't need.
No, it doesn't matter. The point is, Dave's gone.
Move on.
He's also been disbarred. He no longer is this. He's been disbarred. It's not my problem. Also, another quick one is COVID-19 probably leaked from Chinese labs, says CIA in low confidence report.
Right.
The CIA did a big investigation into it, and they discovered that probably COVID came from a Wuhan leak, but they have no confidence in their own report. The reason being that China refuses to share any of the intelligence they would need in order to have confidence in the report. This does not mean, by the way, that it definitely came from Wuhan. However, in a rare incidence, I actually completely agree with the CIA here. I think it probably came from a Wuhan lab, but I have no confidence in that opinion.
Also, though, given everything going on, us v. China, would you be in a hurry to share intel if you're China? I'm just saying.
I don't know how much I'd be willing to cooperate. Well, I don't know. See, this was a global thing. This isn't just anti-America. It's a global thing, the COVID-19 thing. And they probably find it extremely embarrassing. But, I mean, if it did come from a Wuhan lab, that doesn't mean... It doesn't necessarily mean anything bad.
Yeah.
Like, it doesn't mean they were working on biological weapons or anything. It could have been anything.
Yeah. But, again, you can't trust... If you're China, you can't trust America to not be objective about it. So,
but I do agree with the CIA report. I mean, given the amount of information we have, which is not enough to make a conclusive conclusion, the CIA report made the correct call. It's probably from a Wuhan lab, but you can't have any confidence in that without the information. That's fair.
Yeah.
They're allowed to get things right sometimes. Yeah.
I don't want to give them anything.
Okay.
Anyways.
That is our show. Thank you for joining us.
Okay.
We will see you in 2 weeks.
What are we doing in 2 weeks?
A CIA thing, I guess.
Ooh, you heard it. He's asked to have a script in 2 weeks.
I will be doing something. I'll be writing something, yeah.
Okay. We're going to hold you to that.
Yeah, please do.
All right. We'll see everybody.
Bye.
Bye.